Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Lynn and this is So Lindy Lou. Welcome to my channel today. If you're a new subscriber or if you're one of my regular subscribers, I hope you're really well and have had a great week. I'm recording this on Friday morning and I hope to get this vlog out to you by the end of the day. So I'm going to record this in two parts. I'm starting in my kitchen, which is actually, apart from my sewing room, my favourite room in the house. I love it in here. It's lovely and light. I've got this lovely island, which is, as you can probably imagine, fantastic for cutting out fabric. So I tend to be in here quite a lot, especially in the cold weather, because my sewing room is in the conservatory next door and it gets a bit chilly in the winter. So I inevitably bring my sewing machines in here. So you've probably seen a couple of the vlogs recorded from this room. So I'm going to start by standing up because I want to show you this dress that I'm wearing, which is my latest make. And I'm then going to pause and reset up and I'm going to sit down and show you a little bit more in terms of how you might style the dress, because this is quite plain for me. It's just a plain fabric, and as you all know, a lot of my fabrics are patterns. So I thought what I would do is talk a little bit about how you can style it to make it right for you. So I thought I'd start by standing because I want to show you how this dress wraps. So you'll probably recognise it because it's been out for a while. This is the Kielo Dress by REW Clothing. And let me show you what this is like before you wrap it. So it's actually designed like this, which is a very bizarre shape, isn't it? And it took a little bit of working out the first time I sewed it. So essentially what you have is a seam that runs all the way down the arm. It runs to this point here. You then include the very long tie on either side, and then you sew from this side seam all the way down to the bottom. There is a back seam as well, and you sew on a neckband as well, but that's really all there is to it. And of course the cuffs and the hem. So I made this up yesterday. I think it was 3 hours in total, but some of that would have been, you know, stopping to make coffee, letting the dogs out. So it was probably only about 2 hours to sew up in total, I would imagine. So once it's undone, the way you do that back up is to wrap it around the front, wrap the belt all the way around, and then tie that in a bow. So there we are, and I'll just stand back. I'm really confusing the dogs because I've got my heels on and they're thinking, are we going out? Is she taking us out? She has shoes on. What's she doing wearing shoes in the house? But there we are, that's the dress, and that's the full length version with a split at the back. So I'm going to pause there now and move the setup, and we'll talk a bit about styling the dress. There we are, I'm back. So let's talk about the pattern first of all. So it's the Kielo Dress, and it comes as a jumpsuit version as well by Named Patterns. And I've actually made this 3 times now. This is the 3rd one I've made. The first one was a long style dress, and that was in a jersey fabric. The second one was a much finer jersey. I think it was probably a viscose jersey, and I made that in a short length and also short sleeves. So I still had, you know, like a t-shirt sleeve to about there. You can make it with no sleeves at all, and it gives you the instructions to do that, or you can make it as the jumpsuit here. I probably said before, I'm not a big jumpsuit fan, so I probably wouldn't make that version, but I did make it in a sewing class, and some of the other ladies did make jumpsuits. They looked really nice. I just don't like wearing them because of the whole thing of having to strip off when you go to the loo. It's a bit of a pain. So I much prefer a dress on me as well. I think it suits my body shape better. So let's talk a little bit about the jumpsuit in terms of the sizing. Let me see, it might be on the back of the pattern actually rather than in here. Yeah, it is. Bear with 1 second. Here we go. So the pattern sizing is in European sizing. It is a 32 or a UK 4, and it goes up to a 56 or a 28 in UK. So it's reasonably size inclusive there. It doesn't span quite as many size ranges as some pants do, but it's pretty size inclusive. I don't remember which size I made because I traced the pattern off and I'm not sure whether I wrote on it. Let me just have a look at one of the pieces and see. No, no, I didn't write on the size of the, just have a look on that one as well. No, I didn't write on the size, I'm afraid, but I probably would have gone with, let me just have a little look. The finished measurements for the full bust, I probably would have gone for the 44, which has got a finished bust measurement of 101, because there's negative ease in this dress with it being stretch. So I probably wouldn't have gone up to the next size. Yeah, I think I would have made the 44. I graded down a little bit as well. I narrowed the sleeves when I made this one because the first one I made, I found that the sleeves were a little bit too baggy, and because of the style of the dress, I think you want to have it fitting really well. It fits well on the shoulder, so that's a good size for me. It fits well on the bust as well. Yeah, I like that sizing. I think that works for me. So that was the only real adjustment I made. Part of the reason why I narrowed the sleeves as well, I'll put a picture in when I do the edit, but when I was piecing the pattern pieces onto the fabric to see if I'd got enough to make this dress, it was very, very tight. So actually the part of the sleeve was on the selvage. So I needed to trim that off. So I made instead of a 1 centimetre allowance on this sleeve, I made a 2 centimetre allowance. So I didn't shave that much off, but it feels like it fits better for me, and it's a nice fit at the cuff as well. It's not tight, but it's not loose and flapping around either. So I just did, sorry about that. That was a parcel being delivered. As you might expect at this time of year, there'll be lots of parcels arriving. So yeah, I think that's probably all I'll say about the dress. I love it. As I say, I've made it 3 times. I really like the style of the dress. I think it works with my body shape because it brings me in at the waist, and I like the sort of tighter fit everywhere else. So really pleased with this. I did actually pop a label in, so obviously because I'm wearing it I can't show you, but I will just pop a picture in the edit that says party dress, because I think this will be perfect for the not necessarily a big party, but going out for dinner. I've got lots of events coming up over the next few weeks as we go into December, so it'll be an ideal dress to wear for that season. So yeah, so the other bit to say about it actually is to talk about the fabric. This fabric was gifted to me by a company called Long & Craft, and they asked if I would be happy for them to send me a piece of fabric and then to share an Instagram post. And I had a look at the fabric they had, and I really liked this Ponte fabric. And originally I'd actually got in mind to make some lounge pants with it, but when it arrived, it's beautiful quality. It's really lovely, and it's quite a sturdy fabric. It's got some stretch to it, of course, because this pattern is a stretch fabric pattern, but it actually holds its shape really well. The only part that I realised that I'd made a mistake with is this split has stretched out a little bit. I'm hoping that when I wash it, it might bring it back in, even though I'd interfaced it. I think just having it on the ironing board and the weight of the fabric, because it is quite heavy, I had to keep manoeuvring it when I was sewing to make sure it didn't drape down on the floor and, you know, pull it through as I was trying to put it through the machine. So it is quite heavy, so that may well be why it stretched a little bit, but everything else is perfectly fine. The neck is great, that sits nice and flat, so I'm really pleased with how that looks. So at the moment I've just got this on with my little heart necklace, which is like a little tape measure. I don't know if you can see that on the screen, but I really like that. And I do tend to wear a lot of silver jewellery. I've got my silver earrings in as well that my lovely hubby bought me, little heart earrings in a lovely jeweller's from Broadway, which we live quite close to, so we're very lucky to be able to go and have a mooch down in Broadway fairly often. But I tend not to wear coloured jewellery because I wear a lot of coloured clothing, so the silver jewellery just goes with everything I wear, because my colour tones are cool, so hence silver jewellery rather than gold. So I'm going to just give you a few different ideas, because I've seen that lots of people mention on Instagram posts and on other people's vlogs, and a few people have mentioned on my vlog, that people don't always know how to style clothing. So I just thought I'd give a few tips and a few different ideas as to what you could actually put with this dress. So I'm just going to pause and get my accessories together. So I've taken that first necklace off, and I'm going to start with scarves. So I'm going to pop this one on. This is a really genius scarf. It's from a company called REW, R-E-W. I actually know the owner of REW. It's her initials. Her name's Rachel. And she set this business up many years ago. She used to actually work in the hairdressers I used to go to back then, on reception while she was sort of setting up her business. And I believe she now lives in Wales. But she came up with this idea for a scarf because when she had her daughter, she found that scarves would always fall off her, and to try and keep her warm, she just put a button on it to keep it in place. And lots of people started to say, well, that's a really good idea, could you make me one? So she ended up coming up with this design, which I love. It's something you could easily pop onto an outfit. If you're wearing something plain, it just completely changes the look of the outfit. I've worn it with a few different things over the years, and I love this bright pink, and actually I really like it with this royal blue as well. I think it goes really nicely, so really like that. And obviously in this weather it can keep your neck nice and warm as well. So that's my first option. I will put a link to Rachel's business, but that's what it looks like, REW, R-E-W, and I'll put a link to the website below. This one was actually a gift from a friend of mine, and it's an infinity scarf. So I shall wrap it around in a moment, but it's got a really good idea in it, which we could easily replicate as sewers. It's got a zip in it, so it's got a little pocket there. So if you were going out and you wanted to keep your hands free and you didn't have pockets, as I don't in this dress actually, it's one of the only things I would like to change about it, but actually there's nowhere to put a pocket because of the way it wraps around. You don't have the concept of a side seam because the side seam wraps around the front, so there's nowhere to actually put a pocket on this dress. So if I was wearing this, I could pop a lipstick in there perhaps if I wanted to just touch it up during the day. So just wrapping around the infinity scarf. And again, I love red and blue together. I think that looks really lovely. My colouring is bright and cool, so the bright and cool shades suit me really well. So you'll only see me wearing bright and cool shades. I never wear anything else. I rarely wear black unless it's on the bottom, because the black actually reflects against my face and it shows up more lines and wrinkles, which I don't need actually. Now I'm the age I am, I've got plenty, that I don't want any more adding to my my face or neck. So that's another option as well that you can wear, is just a couple of different options for scarves. The other thing you can do is you can add different necklaces to suit your style preferences really. I bought this one last Christmas to go with a sweatshirt that I bought. It's one with sequins on the sleeves and a sweatshirt body, and I wanted something big and chunky to just liven up the front of the sweatshirt because it was just a plain grey, and all the party was going on the sleeves with the sequins. So I thought this was a really nice necklace. It's a slightly pale grey shade here, and then you've got the silver at the front. So again, if you wanted something that wasn't long and you wanted something that was, you know, higher up depending on what you're wearing, then again that could be a really nice option. And obviously if I'm sitting down and I'm on camera, it's a good option because you can see the whole necklace. But if I was standing, obviously this is a long dress, so I might want something a little bit longer that would, you know, work against more of the backdrop of the dress. The other thing you could do, I've got this really cool necklace. I can't remember where I bought this from. It's just wire all kind of fitting together, so you can sort of mold it and move it to however you want. So I really like this one. It's just an interesting design. So again, silver, no surprise. It's a heavier weight necklace, so it's a larger scale. excuse me, so it works on people that are sort of medium scale to large scale. It wouldn't work if you were very, very petite. It would be a little bit overpowering, but I really like that. And again, it works well when you're on camera because you can see the whole of the necklace on screen. And then thinking about a couple of coloured options, as I mentioned, I love red and blue together. So I've got this, it's just made of, I think it's probably acetate, resin. So they just all fit together in these, I don't know what shape they are, I haven't counted how many sides, but an unusual shape. And again, just popping that on, it gives another pop of colour. So if you've got something that isn't a bright colour and you want to add a bright colour to it, let's say you've got a plain grey sweatshirt, then that would work really well to just liven it up by adding some colour on the necklace. I like that because it's got a magnetic catch on it, so it's really easy to and quick to put on. Now this one, as you can see, I haven't worn it, it's still got the label on. I can't remember what I bought this for. I think I might have just seen it in the shop and thought I quite like it, but actually I haven't really worn it. I think probably because it's not quite the right length for me. Let's put it on and have a look. So this one, as you can see, tones more with what I'm wearing. It doesn't stand out as much. So if you're the type of personality that doesn't like things that clash and are bold and stand out, as I just did with the red and the blue, and you want something that tones in a little bit more, then something like this could work for you as well. But actually that looks quite nice, I think, with the dress, but I do like the bold clashing. And then if you want to go for something a little bit longer, where's the end? I have something like, as you can tell, I love jewellery, so I wear a lot of it. I've got this, which is quite old now, but it's got a little wing on it and it's got a little sound charm in it. I don't know if you can hear that. And it's supposed to be, every time it rings, your guardian angel is near. So you can just stand up with that on. So that comes down longer on the dress. And again, if you wanted to wear colour with it, I've actually got a coloured chain. I won't thread it through, but normally I would thread the pendants through as well. So it just makes that a little bit bolder by adding the red beads on it as well. And then other options while I'm standing. I had these years ago from Portugal. I love buying jewellery on holiday because it reminds me of the holiday. So something like that looks nice as well. With a longer dress. I think that's everything. Yeah, that was my last one actually. So loads and loads of choices for scarves and jewellery just to brighten up. So I thought that might be quite useful as we're coming into the party season. You might not, well, I was just going to say you might not have anything new to wear. That is an absolute lie. If you're a sewist, of course you're going to have something new to wear because you're making all the time. But if you were going to lots and lots of different parties and you're wearing something from a different year that you've made previously perhaps, you might want to just jazz it up a little bit by adding some jewellery. So I hope you found that useful. I think the only thing that I've got left, or a couple of things that I wanted to mention today, I'm going to be doing Vlogmas for the first time next week. So starting on Monday, 1st of December, I've decided I'm only going to do every other day for the beginning part, because it's the first time I've done it. I'm not quite sure how much work's going to be involved. I've got a good idea from obviously recording these weekly videos, but doing a daily one might be a bit of a bridge too far, because next week I've got a couple of appointments that I'm taking my mum to, hospital appointments and so on. So I'm going to be out for a couple of days. So I'll probably record Mondays, actually on Monday morning, and then edit it when I get home and post it. So I'll be doing every other day, and then as we get to the middle of the month, I'll probably then go to every day, because I've got a lovely advent calendar from Beyond the Pink Door, which is every day but starting from the 13th. So it goes for 12 days from the 13th to the end of, well, until Christmas. So I shall be doing that. So looking forward to seeing how that goes and how I find it. I wanted to say a thank you to the lovely Linda, my namesake. I'm actually a Linda as well, but everybody calls me Lynn. I only get called Linda when I'm in trouble. So she's Linda with an I, I'm Linda with a Y. So thank you, Linda, for your lovely Ko-fi donation. I really appreciate that. So I shall be having a coffee when I go out with my husband this afternoon. And talking of husbands, did you see last week's vlog, my crazy husband, where I showed the shirt that I'd made for his birthday, and then he did a funny little guest appearance at the end? He is quite bonkers, and I've noticed actually a lot of the comments that people made on that were saying, oh, you've got a mad husband as well. My husband's like that. He's always wanting to appear in my vlogs and always doing goofy things, which is a nice American phrase that we tend not to use that word so much in the UK, as far as I'm aware. I don't use it so much anyway, but goofy does sum him up pretty well, so I might adopt that as a new adjective for him. But he is quite bonkers. He's always playing pranks, jokes. He's really good at impressions and lots of silliness, so he's known for being a bit of a raconteur when we go out. He's always got lots of stories, and he I don't know how he remembers jokes, but he does. He's got thousands of them that he can regale you with. Whatever the subject you bring up, he's got a joke for it. So yes, he did come down this morning and ask whether Hollywood had called yet after his appearance. So I don't think it's quite yet, but yes, keep trying. So I hope you enjoyed that. I just thought we'd add a bit of silliness into the end of a gift for November, because it is a fun thing to do, isn't it, with Christmas gifts. So I shall be talking more about gifts next week and showing you some of the things that I said I was going to make in the Gift to November vlog. I'll be showing you some of the things I've actually made now. So yes, please do join me on that. Don't feel that you've got to join every single one, because there's a lot of vloggers and there's a lot of people doing Vlogmas. So pick and choose, and yeah, I hope to see you there. But if not, have a wonderful rest of your weekend, or weekend as we go into the weekend now. And yeah, have a great week. And also I should say, happy Thanksgiving to my American friends. I hope you had a fantastic day yesterday and enjoyed time with your friends and family. So have a brilliant weekend, and I will catch up with you on Monday. Bye for now.